Hey there, and welcome to another episode of Naked CTF. I'm Jono with OpenLearnSec, and in Naked CTF, the goal is to attempt a CTF compromise, and we're using HackTheBox today. The box that we'll be attempting is FriendZoned. So FriendZoned is over here, as we can see. Just spun it up. I've not touched it before. Haven't seen any information about it, not tried it before. So the whole point of Naked CTF is to kind of share with you my learning journey as I pick up new tools, techniques, basically try to get better at penetration testing, red teaming, offensive security. So we're going to attempt to do it in adventure mode. If we really get stuck, we'll go to guided mode, which will give us some hints about where to look next. And then if we get really stuck, we can always look at the write-up, but I want to try and avoid that at all costs. The whole point of this is learning and researching along the way. So you'll see a lot of Googling. Don't know how long this video will last for. It could be over and done in 30 minutes, could take 3 hours. Not quite sure. So with that, let's get started. As always, going to do some enumeration. I've got a working directory here set up here for us. I'm going to do nmap -sc -sv the IP address, and then we're going to do an output for nmap 1.txt t4 timing, and let's get started. So let's go scan the top 1,000 ports. Later on, I will do a full port scan just to make sure we didn't miss anything, but it's usually enough to get started. We can already see 21, 139, 53, 443, 80, 445, and 22. So quite a bit to look at. Normally in these exercises, you get a small number of services exposed. And let's just have a look. So 21 is FPT. It's running VS FPT. We've got SSH on 22. The version fingerprinting believes it's Ubuntu. We've got a DNS server running on 53, which is bind, common DNS daemon that's used. Apache HTTP'd on port 80, 249. And it was able to get from the HTML header the title of the website, FriendZone Escape Software. Okay, interesting. We've got Samba running, so SMB or Samba, the Unix implementation of SMB protocol. We've got another web server, HTTP 2429. It's likely the same server that's running on port 80, but it is running on HTTPS. So with nmap and its enumeration scripts, it does get some data back for us in terms of the SSL certificate and that sort of thing. And we can see here common name friendzone.red. So that might be our domain name. We'll take a look at that later. More TLS certificate information. The root was not found, so nothing returned there. 445 is Samba as well. And that looks about it. So I'm going to just grab all this. In today's episode, I'm going to try and take better notes along the way. Part of the preparation for OSCP is that need to get better at note-taking and report writing. So the only way to do that is to actually practice it. And just having a bit of trouble with my mouse here. Let's see. There we go. So I'm using Obsidian for note-taking, and let's go from here. I think we might just quickly check the website itself, just see what's there. So it's 10.10.10.123. Have you ever been friend-zoned? If yes, try to get out of this zone. Oh man, I think the author of this particular box may have been friend-zoned at one point. Happens to the best of us. So yeah, look, super basic static HTML, nothing at all that points to any sort of avenue for abuse or attack or further investigation. What I might do is, before we move off the web server itself, let's check the 443, so HTTPS. It's going to give us a warning about the security certificate. Okay, and no index.html or no index document was found. So what I'm thinking is I might start some enumeration on the web server itself, get that going now. So we're going to do go buster, URL is HTTP, and oops. Okay, let's try that again. Go buster, URL HTTP 10.10.10.123. Word list is going to be user share word lists dir buster, I think. Derby comment, yeah. What's the flag? Go buster. This is why I can't remember anything. Oh, it's because we didn't specify what type of buster action we wanted to do, which is dir. And let's add a button at the end. I can't remember how to do that. Right. Go buster include file extensions. Extension switch. Is that there? Go buster. Extension -x. So let's do -x. It's Apache, so I'm going to assume that PHP is there. It may not be, but let's just have a look anyway. All right, so we'll let that go. Then we'll run that again with the HTTPS. Oh, okay. So straight away we find on the public website, we've got /WordPress. It's throwing a 403 for HT access that may or may not exist. It might just be filtered. Robots.txt and server status. So let's have a quick look. What is robots.txt going to say? Nope. And then we want to try server status. Forbidden 403. And WordPress. WordPress. URL not found. Interesting. There is a redirect there. Let's open up Developer Tools. Can't remember the shortcut for that either. And go to network 1010 HTTP 10.10.123/WordPress. It's just an empty directory. What I do find interesting there is that this particular directory, I don't know if it's the rest of the site, has directory listings turned on. So that's definitely something of interest. Server status 403. Okay, let's take some notes from our enumeration so we can track what we're doing. HTTP port 80, TCP. WordPress is empty directory listings on /WordPress /server status is 403. Okay. Let's do the same on the HTTPS site. We need to tell GoBuster to ignore the SSL certificate. Where is that? GoBuster. Is there an option to ignore SSL? Ignore the certificate validity? Let's, when in doubt, let's Google it up. -K. See, there's a -K flag to disable certificate checks. Now, I didn't see that in the help output, unless I'm blind and missed it. Yeah, it seems that the GoBuster help is incomplete. So I think I might come back and do a video on GoBuster. It's just so I have the opportunity to learn all these different flags a bit better. Experiment with things like fuzzing and that sort of stuff. So let's do -K. And there it goes. Pretty short word list, only about 9,000 entries. So the server status is on 403 as well. And HTTPS server status. Okay, nothing there. Let's just try HTTP again. Yeah, okay. All right, so not a whole lot going on the website. There might be some other stuff that we've missed because we're not using a particularly long list for enumeration, but I think we'll come back to that. And let's have a look at some of the other services. So we've done HTTP and HTTPS. Well, we've had our first kind of pass at it. Let's have a look at FTP, see if there's anonymous access available. So FTP 10, 10, 10, 10, 2, 3. And let's try anonymous. And login incorrect. Let's just try one more time, make sure. Yeah, I think when anonymous is enabled, it usually says specify your email. So, and let's see, yeah, it doesn't look like anonymous's access is there. Know that VSFPT FTP has had a lot of issues over the years. A quick look in SploitDB. Latest is denial of service for 303. This is running 303. But the oldest kind of RCE or command execution is prior to 303. So we could potentially DOS the FTP server if we liked, but I don't think that's the purpose of this particular exercise. So let's just make a note. FTP'd running on 21. FTP port P, no non-access. Okay, what else is in our list? DNS or bind we definitely want to have a look at, but the one that I'm really keen to check out is SMB or Samba. So I'm just going to do a real preliminary check using SMB map. This is a tool that I like because it just gives you a really clean kind of output of what it finds and makes lots of sense. SMB map -H. All right, let's run that again so we get it a bit more friendly. Okay, so print share for drivers, file share, we have no anonymous access. General, we have read. Development, we have read write. And then IPC, interprocess, no access. So we can definitely have a poke around these two shares. What I might do is just quickly grab this and snapshot it so we can look it up later. So SMB Samba ports 445 and 139. Okay, let's definitely keep that handy. So let's have a look at the development share, because a copy of source code or something like that would be really useful. So SMB client, what do we need? We need I think it's N. So 10, 10, 10, 1, 2, 3, development. All right, connected. And there's nothing there. Yep. Not a whole lot, okay. So let's add that to our notes. General is empty. And let's try the next one that we have access to in an anonymous way. General. Oh, creds.txt. Too easy. Well, let's not get too excited. Let's download this and have a look at creds.txt. Admin, work, hallelujah. Creds for the admin thing. Okay. The admin thing. What is the admin thing? Okay. So development, creds.txt. And let's add this down here. Found on development. Yeah. Okay. Okay. Where to go next? Okay, so we've done SMB. We've done preliminary SSL. We've done regular HTTP. We've done FTP. SSH, I'm just going to assume we don't have access to at this point without a key file or being able to inject a key or some form of credentials on the host itself. So DNS is interesting. Let's try and download the DNS zone file. So we conduct a what's called DNS zone transfer Linux. Yeah, you can use dig. Zone transfer is essentially where the AXFR DNS query type is used. Okay, let's have a look. Yeah, I know roughly what a zone transfer is. So dig zone transfer .me -tns. So it's dig AXFR domain name, then @ and I believe this is the name server itself. So we did see in our nmap enumeration that the HTTPS server has a TLS certificate, and that has a CN set to friendzone.red, which could be a domain name. So we can use that as our basis for the AXFR or zone transfer requests. Let's give that a go. So we're going to do dig AXFR. This domain again, friendzone.red, friendzone.red at 10.10.10.123. Aha. Okay, so look, zone transfers are a legitimate thing. It allows multiple DNS servers that are talking. If you have multiple name servers for a given domain, you may want to enable zone transfer between them so they can keep themselves updated. But normally you don't want the public internet to be able to issue this sort of query against your DNS server. So we can see, based on this, we've got several subdomains. So administrator1.friendzone.red, hr.friendzone.red, uploads, and the domain apex itself. So why don't we get some DNS resolution going for this by putting it in our host file. So I'm going to vim sudo vim etc hosts. And it's going to be 10.10.10.123. Nope, that's not it. It's going to be administrator1.friendzone.red. Copy it this time. And 10.10.10.123 hr.friendzone.red 10.10.10.123. What was it again? Uploads. Uploads.friendzone.red. Then just for good measure, we'll add the domain apex or the root domain itself. Friendzone.red. Cool. Ping hr friendzone.red. Yep. Okay, that works. Okay, quite a bit to go on at this point. I was thinking, do we want to use GoBuster and do some vhost enumeration? But the reality is that we've already got a zone transfer from the DNS server, which means it's more authoritative. We don't actually need to brute force the subdomains. So, let's think about this. So we've now got a bunch of new targets. Let's update it in our notes. DNS port 53 able to complete zone transfer AFXR. 3 new host names discovered. That's going to be administrator 1, administrator 1, HR uploads. So I think it's time to start attacking that. And then we've also got these credentials that we found on the Samba share, hoping that it is applicable to this. So now that we've added the local host file entries, the question is, will it be HTTP or HTTPS? So let's just try administrator 1.friendzone.red. Okay, get this out of the way. Accept and continue. Login form for FriendZone. Looks like vanilla HTTP. The form is posting to login.php, which means we may have PHP access. Let's see. Grab the credentials that we found earlier and try those. Admin, that. Save. Login done. Visit /dashboard.php. Okay. Dashboard.php. Smart photo script for FriendZone Corp. Note, we are dealing with a beginner PHP developer and the application is not tested yet. Hey, okay, image name parameters missed. Please enter it to show the image. Default is image ID equals a.jpg and page name equals timestamp. So let's just throw those parameters. I mean, PHP refers to them as parameters. Usually means get parameters. And then we've got Nelson Muntz. Ha ha. Something went wrong. The script included the wrong param. Final access timestamp is blah. So that's an epoch timestamp, I think. So epoch to human. Let's put that in there. And yeah, that's my, yep, that's correct. Okay, interesting. So a.jpg and page name equals timestamp. Well, let's, do the obvious thing. If it's a beginner PHP developer, may not be sanitizing the inputs here. etc password. Something went wrong. We don't know what the web directory root is, so we don't know how many directories we need to go back. So just kind of keep trying this. In fact, let's do this. Let's get a little bit more professional and put this into Burp Suite. Okay. Advanced. Go. And then I've already got Burp Suite running. Proxy. History. Okay. Let's send that to repeater. So now we can kind of mess around with the URL without having to type it in the browser over and over again. So a.jpg gets translated into the image source tag here, images /a. Let's try b. b.jpg. Yeah, okay. Let's try I think we'll try that before. See password. Send that again. So let's think about it. Like on Ubuntu, usually it's var www.html is the web root. And then they've got this images directory. So that's four levels up, or 4 directories in the tree. So maybe one more. Oops. Nope. And as you can see here, it's actually just appending the string here. It's not actually starting the string. And it's only giving us the image source. It's actually not, it's only taking this value and putting it into the image tag. It's not actually opening the file itself. Okay. So definitely want to come back to this. Don't think there is anything else in this web page that is of note. It looks like just vanilla HTML output from a PHP script. What I think I'll do is get dirbuster going. Instead of using the IP address, using the URL, using the host name, because I can. What I anticipate is that in this instance we've got one web server serving a couple of different websites. So administrator 1, HR, uploads, and the way that it's doing it is through vhost or virtual host. So if you just leave it as the IP address, it's going to fall back to a default website. But if you actually specify the host name, it should be scanning the web root that belongs to this particular vhost. So let's try this. So it found dashboard.php, found login.php. Server status is still empty. Okay, let's do the same with the other 2 vhosts. So it's going to be uploads. Okay. There's a /files and an upload.php. All right, let's check that one next. So that's going to be uploads.friendzoned.red. Accept the busted certificate. Oh, okay. So now we can upload a file, and maybe that gets put into the images directory on that on the other application, administrator 1. All right, let's just get a image to use and burp off or here, turn the proxy off, I mean. So let's use, they gave us Nelson Muntz, so I'm going to use Principal Skinner PNG. Okay. Let's save image as. No, I don't want a WebP. Getting deep into Simpsons wiki here. Yeah, okay, it's PNG. So save image as. Why is it defaulting to WebP? So let's do HTTP friendzone 173 friendzone Skinner.png. Okay. Close this and let's try uploading HTTP 17 friendzone Skinner.png upload. Upload successfully, and then gives us a epoch timestamp. Let's get the administrator 1 app open. So that's going to be admin. And we need to go back to our notes. Grab the password here. Right. See off? Yep, okay. What's the matter, PHP developer? You can't do a redirect? And we're going to have image ID equals Skinner dot PNG and page name equals the timestamp, which is on here. Something went wrong. Script included a wrong param. That's a source. Of course, there's no line breaks. Images / Skinner.png. Okay, I wonder if it only is cool with like particular file type JPEG. Okay, so we've got this interesting interplay between these two. Let's just try one more time with the JPEG. Test JPEG. Test JPEG. Type. Test JPEG. Coming all the way from Norway. So let's rename that JPG. Box 173 friendzone and view.jpg. Okay, we go back to our upload form. View.jpg. Upload. And let's grab the timestamp. Change this to... I want to actually confirm that the file is getting uploaded to this images directory. No. Okay. Doesn't work. What about if we do /images? We got A and we got B. Got it. Okay. But the upload doobie whacker thing here doesn't appear to be writing to this directory used by this web app. So I wonder where it's writing to. /uploads. /upload. What did Buster say? Nope. index.html, upload.php. So we don't, oh, we've got this slash files. It's 301. And I think it's just redirecting to itself. Let's go here. Yeah, it's just an empty 200. Absolutely no data returned. Okay, I wonder what is the right path to take right now. Anyway, look, let's continue to, do the discovery, do the enumeration. So we do have hr.friendzone.red. And that's the default HTML that we saw on 10.10.123. So that's probably the same host. Let's run the GoBuster just in case. HR. And just check that we're not absolutely missing anything. Just that /server status. Okay. Nothing there. Going back to our first pass on just the IP address. 10.10.10.123. Okay, and the actual output. Yeah, nothing really jumps out. I mean, we did have that WordPress URL, but yeah, directory listings on for /WordPress. So let's try that. /WordPress. Dang it. I thought that would be something that could be attacked, like a vulnerable WordPress installation, but it's literally just an empty directory. FriendZoned. Okay. There was nothing in the let's try HTTPS FriendZoned. Okay, so that's the web root for the HTTPS site. And some dude working on escaping the friend zone. Okay. So we've run GoBuster on the HTTP and HTTPS version with just the IP address. We've run it on administrator 1. We've run it on HR. We've run it on uploads. We haven't run GoBuster on here. So because this is a different root HTML page, I'm a little bit curious about what's going on here. So we're going to just do HTTPS friendzone red /admin. Okay. /JS. Is that referenced in here? Oh, just doing some development here. /JS/JS. Don't go deep. Well, I think I will if you don't actually mind. Developer guy who left this comment. So /JS. JS. Testing some functions. I'm not trying to break things. What in the world? Yeah, it's HTML, not JavaScript. Don't stare too much, you will be smashed. It's all about times and zones. What? Oh, man, this is a proper puzzle, this one. Anyway, let's grab this. And put it in our notes. So HTTPS /JS/JS. Got this string and this comment. So is it a credential? I'm not sure. But on the balance, if we kind of think about what we've found so far, and this is the Apex domain, friendzone.red. So essentially we've got 4 names, the IP address and the 3 vhosts, and then we've got a HTTP and an HTTPS version of each. Now, in some cases it might be the same website, but like for example, if we look at uploads, there's nothing in that files directory. We're looking at the HTTPS version now. If we switch it over to HTTP, it goes back to the default page of that is the same website served up if you hit the IP address. So I'm just trying to create a bit of a mental map about what websites and variations in terms of HTTP and HTTPS we need to take into consideration. It's obviously something of a reasonably sophisticated Apache configuration with multiple vhosts and different web routes and all this sort of stuff. So we know that uploading an image here does not end up in the administrator1 images directory. So maybe the connection between uploads and administrator1, maybe there isn't a connection there. Maybe they don't work hand in hand somehow. Just want to do the demo image again, the Nelson Muntz. Okay, dashboard. So let's try these params. Now it's giving us the image because it's taking this parameter and inserting it into the image tag when it spits out this page. But page name is timestamp. Yeah, I'm just trying to think what the relevance here is like. So if we try b.jpg. Got it. Sorry for the silence. I'm just trying to, oops. Sorry if it just went black. I just locked my screen accidentally. I'm trying to think through what we could do next. So we got this as the HTTPS version, and then this as the HTTP version. Oh, but hang on. This email address is a different domain. Not friendzone.red, but friendzoneportal.red. Interesting. That's the only place I've seen it referenced. It wasn't in the certificate data. Yeah, it isn't in the certificate data. Okay, let's see if this domain is real in this simulation anyway. So previously we did a zone transfer. Oh, look at that. Okay, so the same DNS server is serving up this domain. And we've got the root domain. We've got admin.friendzoneportal.red, files, imports, VPN. Oh my God. Okay. Let's add all these. They're all pointing at localhost, so it's got to be the same IP address. Let's see, hosts. Right. 10, 10, 10, 1, 2, 3. Friendzone portal.red. 10, 10, 10, 10, 1, 2. Oh my God. Probably be easier to copy and paste this, wouldn't it? Oh, but yeah. Okay, disregard. Admin.friendzoneportal.red. 10, 10, 10, 1, 2, 3. Files.friendzoneportal.red. In 10, 10, 10, 1, 2, 3. Imports.friendzoneportal.red. 10, 10, 10, 1, 2, 3. VPN.friendzoneportal.red. Okay. My goodness. All right. Well, let's check each of these out. Friendzoneportal.red. Okay, that's the HTTPS. Hey! And then it's another website altogether with another meme GIF watching you. All right, Michael, stop eating the damn popcorn. All right, let's blast through them, see what we find. So admin.friendzoneportal.red. admin.friendzone.portal.red. Log in and break some friend zones. Spread the love. Okay. Are we just going to try these credentials, I guess? The ones that were from Administrator 1. Used for, say, working on Administrator 1.friendzone.red. Jeez, this is getting a little bit confusing. Admin, password, don't save. Admin page is not developed yet. Check for it. Okay. I mean, the other one was dashboard.php, right? Not found. Okay. Let's run GoBuster. Admin.friendzone portal.red. So login.php, yep. Okay. Right, let's come back to it. Files. Files. Let's get rid of the dashboard.php. Nothing. All right. Let's continue the enumeration just to be sure, because one of these billion websites is going to lead us to what I'm hoping is some sort of RCE or something. RCE, LFI, I would take either at the moment. Server status, okay. I'm thinking, do we need to go with a bigger word list? I'm going to risk it and say no for now. Imports. Let's check the non-HTTP version. Yeah, okay, just goes back to that default website. So HTTPS imports. .404. Let's run Dirbuster again. Keep saying Dirbuster, I mean GoBuster. Server status is always 403. I've never seen it before with Apache, but it may be like a newer feature that I'm not familiar with. Okay. And then the last one was VPN. VPN. And just the same, just for thoroughness. Let's, oops, too far. VPN. What we might do is a much bigger Nmap scan than the top 1000 ports. So I'm just going to rerun this across all 65,535 ports. And let's see if it finds something in the higher order ports. Nope. 80 FPT DNS, HTTP HTTP, FPT, DNS, FPT, SSH, DNS, HTTP, Samba, HTTPS, Samba. Yeah, okay. So we now know there's no ports that we haven't come across in the past. Okay, I think it's worth maybe writing a little table with all our results so far. Just trying to think. So let's write this out so we can figure out where to go next. Okay. Website enumeration. So it's going to be URL, and then a description. Let's do HTTPS. And let's put it outside this block. So that's 1, 2. So let's start with HTTP 10, 10, 10, 1, 2, 3. And I'm just going to methodically do all this. So then we start with friendzone dot red, and then the HTTPS version, HTTP administrator 1, and the HTTPS version of that. Then we've got let's just do this. HR and HTTPS version. Then we've got uploads. Uploads, HTTPS. Uploads. Then for the second domain, we've got HTTP friendzone portal.red. And the HTTPS version. And then about 4 billion vhosts for this domain. So admin files imports VPN. So 1, 2, 3, 4. admin, files, imports, and finally VPN.vpn. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20 possible websites when you take into account 2 domains, multiple subdomains, vhost based, virtual host based setup, plus the kind of raw IP address. So bear with me. I'm going to go through these one by one. So the first is HTTP 10.10.123, and let's just call this the static hands page. And then if we try the same URL with HTTPS, it's going to be 404. Then we've got the root domain, so http //friendzone.red. Okay, that's that. And then HTTPS. That's where it differs a little bit. So static hands page, meme treadmill guy. Then we've got next is the administrator one. So http //administrator one.friendzone.red. Okay, static hands page. Then we do the HTTPS version, and we get the login form plus file image file display dashboard.php. Okay, then we go into HTTP hr.friendzone.red. Okay, and HTTPS. That's continue. So static hands page for 4. HTTP uploads HTTPS. So static hands page, basic upload form, no further info. Okay, so that's the first domain. Okay. Okay. Static hands page, Michael Jackson rolled if HTTP admin HTTPS. So static hands page, different login to admin one portal, admin one same credits. Files. I'm seeing a bit of a pattern here. That's 404. Imports. It's got to be an easy way to do this, but it's a static hands page. 404. And VPN. And 404. So let's just sit back and look at this for a bit. So if I had to guess, this HR files, imports, and VPN are all the same web config. So while they've got different names and one uses an IP address, they're probably pointing at the same web root. I think of interest is HTTPS Administrator 1. Uploads, I'm not 100% sure. Where was that JS file? Red. So that was in the root domain. HTTPS, red JS. Okay, mean treadmill guy. JS, hidden message plus token. Okay. So definitely want to look further into this. This, I think we can ignore. This, we want to probably look at a little bit more. This is kind of similar to this one in the sense that it's the static hands page on HTTP and then a troll GIF on the HTTPS. This we want to definitely look at. So URLs of interest is going to be HTTPS administrator 1.friendzone.red, HTTPS uploads.friendzone.red, HTTPS admin.friendzone.portal. So I think like if we try and narrow down these 20 different targets into where we want to kind of put our effort next, I think that this is the list. So what should we do? We've already had a kind of a play with this. Doesn't appear that uploads and the dashboard.php is linked. So I think just as a first step, I was saying before I'm a little bit worried about GoBuster using a short list. So let's find a longer list and we'll run it across those 3 websites. User, share, word lists. We want to use DirBuster or DirB? DirBuster, I think it's the right one. And we're using this common, but remember I have in the past used directory list 2.3 medium. So cat directory list 2.3 medium. It's 22,000. Yeah. So sorry, 220,000. Substantially bigger. Okay. Because we know PHP is there, we probably want to be able to not only search out common directories, but start looking for some, maybe some other PHP that exists within the directory. So let's grab this. We've got our PHP extension configured. Copy, and then we're going to paste it here. And our 3 URLs of interest. First one is administrator1.friendzone.net. Administrator1 friendzone.red. User share word lists. Buster directory lists to medium. Go. Images we know about. Login.php we know about. Dashboard we know about. This must be thrilling YouTube content watching GoBuster run. In fact, why don't we get some going in parallel? So let's take this. Oops, god damn it. Need to do that. And our second website of interest is uploads. Uploads.friendzone portal red. And our third one of interest is going to be ooh, interesting. Okay. Third one of interest is going to be admin. Friendzone portal. Oh, look at that. We didn't know about timestamp.php. So admin is fine. Uploads.friendzone.portal.red. Friendzone. Too many names. Too many names. There we go. So That we know about. That we know about. This is new, timezone.php. So let's have a look at that. Timezone.php. Oops. Timestamp. My mistake. Sorry, it's actually very late at night while I'm doing this, so brain is starting to fade a little bit. Final access timestamp is blah, and if I check, I'm sure that is the current date time. Yeah. Yes, it is. So this string final access timestamp is blah. Like if we refresh that, yep, increases. And then we refresh this. It looks like the timestamp.php gets included in dashboard.php. And timestamp.php matches this variable, right? So the code in here is probably doing include param name .php. So what if we, I wonder what happens if we make it try to include dashboard. That's just going to be like an infinite loop. Oh God. Oh God. Stop. So yeah, that was either going to crash the server or my browser. So what we can conclude is if we take this, put this in here, change this to timestamp.php. This is a PHP script that prints or echoes this string plus the current date time in epoch. This guy, this page takes a parameter name here, get parameter called page name, whatever that is equal to, it adds .php on the end of it, and then appends it to the HTML output here. And we know that because when we change that to include itself, it would loop over and over again because it was basically in a recursive loop. Nothing new on the go busting front. So how can we abuse this? I know that from previous reading, so Actrix PHP. I have done a box in the past where you can craft a URL that uses a special PHP filter, and that filter lets you read a PHP file without actually parsing it. So I'm just trying to remember the actual right terminology for this. Okay, so that's messing with comparisons, type juggling. Execute after redirect. Debug. No. This is not what I remember. The URL filter. Like it's a PHP language specific thing. View source. I don't know. So PHP exploit view source filter. Filter stream wrapper. LFI PHP filter allows pen tester to include local files and base64 encodes the output. Yeah, so this is kind of what we got, except the file variable, which in this case is page name, is appending, they're appending .php to it, because otherwise, yeah, see there's no timestamp there now. So my assumption is it's taking this variable and appending .php to it. It's not going to be vulnerable to this because it's got the .php extension. Where is the filter thing? Yeah. Include local files and base64 encodes the output. PHP filter convert base64 encode resource equals. Let's try this. So this is partially. Nope, nothing. So I wonder, once PHP has interpreted this, what it's actually passing back to the script, right? Like what data is going to be populated in that page name variable. Because if all of this gets parsed out by the PHP, for lack of a better word, pre-processing, then it would end up being /etc/passwords .php, right? That's what it's going to try and include. And then this part would mean it would be returned as a base 64. Let's just try and get the timestamp. Aha! Base 64 string. Let's have a look at that. All right, my dog just started barking. Okay, let's have a look at this. Let's jump over here. So we want to do base 64 minus D. Hey. So let's just put it in a file first. Vim timestamp.php. Base 64 minus D timestamp.php. Yeah, so it's actually as simple as that, right? That file, timestamp file that's being included is just echoing out inside that string. So, okay, now we know we can get PHP source code, which is awesome. Let's have a look at dashboard itself. It's going to be a bit longer. We get the very last character. And let's put this into dashboard.php. Then base 64 decode. Okay, so open PHP, echo, blah. Auth equals cookie friend zone auth. If auth equal to, if the cookie is equal to this, then do all of this. Otherwise, say you can't see the content, please log in. All right. So if the URL parameter image ID is set, yeah, so it just constructs an image tag with the source set to the get parameter. Then it does that include, so that would be doing include timestamp.php. Okay. So this might be open to some sort of XSS, but I'm not sure how that would help. This is an LFI, essentially an LFI for anything ending in .php. I can't think of a way that we can escape this .php. There might be some tricky way to do it. So, just trying to think. Like we want to get either a web shell or a rev shell up and running. So how would we do that? We can grab PHP files, right? Good. Don't think the XSS here is useful because it's only going to be reflected back to us. Like if we inject JavaScript into this parameter and that gets put into here and that HTML gets sent to us, it's just JavaScript that is going to execute on our browser. So I can't see how that's going to give us anything. Okay, time to review. Oops. So pretty much done. Login.php we can take a look at. Dashboard we've looked at. Timestamp we've looked at. And then I'm guessing we can also use that PHP LFI to grab these as well. But we would need to figure out the path, right? Because if this is var www slash var html slash administrator1, and this is var html slash uploads, and this guy is slash admin. I don't know, like at that point, it's entirely up to whoever built and configured the server. So we could spend quite a bit of time trying to figure that out. Let's just update our notes. HTTPS admin1.friend administrator1.friendzone.red local partial file inclusion anything beginning with anything ending with .php. Let's just check the code again. Yeah. So it's parameter name and then end.php. Okay. We can't try and use the LFI to leak an SSH key because number one, we don't have any confirmed local user names, and I can't think of a way that we can bypass the .php suffix for the LFI. DNS, we've already well and truly abused and transferred the domains for 2 different domains that we came across. Samba, we had 2 shares. We had 2 shares, general and development, that we had access, anonymous access. Print $, IPC $, and files, we have no access because we have no credentials. General, we have let's just go and take another look at this. I feel we haven't properly enumerated Samba. Like, we found the shares, we found which ones we have read access to. There was nothing in one and creds.txt in the other. But this guy we have write access to. So let's do Actrix SMB. Like, I like SMB map because it gives you a really simple output, right? And it tests the permissions, which with SMB client, you got to kind of do one by one and see. So that's why I always start with SMB map. But it might be time to go a bit deeper. All this stuff. IPC, we don't have access to. Anonymous. NTLM, okay. Might just go back to my notes. Unorganized notes. So SQL map. Yeah, I have used the nmap scripts in the past, so let's give this a try. All right, GoBuster is finished on Administrator 1. All of that is cool. Actually, before we do that, let's check out let's check out our login.php just to be thorough. So we've got a new string here. Okay. login.php paste 64 login. Okay. Wow, sophisticated. If admin is this and password is this, so we already have those creds. It basically sets a static cookie value, and that's the value that's checked for in dashboard.php. Kind of wish I could get in there and just clean some of this up, but right, let's administrator 1.friendzone.bread, move all that PHP into that directory. Good. Okay. What were we doing? We were going to run some further nmap enumeration. Let's just check metrics. That type of exploit doesn't apply because we're not actually running Windows. We're running Samba. So script, safe or SMB enum. Dump user information, possible RPC. Now we're starting to get into user and group enumeration. Okay, let's not go down the rabbit hole. Let's start with this guy. So I guess by default, like these aren't included in the default scripts from nmap. Maybe they are. Tell you what, feel like I'm being friend zoned at the moment. 1 hour, 51 minutes. Okay, nothing super interesting there. Anyway, let's just try these scripts. So our IP is 10, 10, 10, 1, 2, 3. Come on, nmap. Oh, is that the right port? 445. Yep. Oh, okay. That is a lot more verbose. Right. Pre-scan. RobTex API. No idea what that is. I guess it's looking up some Shodan type service. Okay. Okay. RobTex. Okay. Dude, that's my printer. What is going on here? Port 445. 10, 10, 10, 1, 2, 3. Am I losing my mind? 10, 10, 10, 1, 2, 3. Okay, I could possibly be leaking some information about my own network here. Oh God. Oh God. Nmap, what have you done? Okay, don't read any of that. I think as part of the SMB enumeration, I may have to edit that piece out. I don't think there's anything too bad in there. Yes. Chromecast. Yes, I've got an Android TV. Yeah, I have a feeling with these SMB enumeration scripts, like it tries some stuff at a broadcast level on the network. Like it uses the subnet broadcast address to try and discover stuff. Okay, that's been 3 minutes. Let's have a look at NB, other way, nmap SMB enumeration. Mm-hmm. Okay, so we did SMB star, which is going to be all these scripts. Okay. Man, nmap scripts are actually OP. Enumerate all publicly exposed SMB shares. In addition, if it's not able to get any shares, it will brute force commonly used share names to check if they're accessible. That's pretty dope. So you can see here it returns the UNC path. type, comment, users, max users. Path. Ah. Interesting. Yeah, so does that mean it's the actual server-side path? I think I might have come across this before. Yeah, you see, SMB map is quite light on detail. Compared to what's coming out in this Nmap example. So SMB map, you can do recursive listing. Okay. Not actually done that before. Okay. Oh, the SMB script even enumerated the volumes, the shares. So development is empty and general has that creds.txt. I think I actually had it the wrong way around in my notes. General names creds.txt empty. Okay. So this is all the protocol level stuff. Checks if it's on a spam blacklist. Okay, cool. Clock skew. Yep, good to know. Domains, friend zone, blah. Capabilities, protocol 2 and 3, SMB 2 and 3. Port is open. SMBv1. Okay. I know that can be abused because that's like a 40-year-old Windows NT protocol. Okay, shares. Account used, guest, development, friend zone, Samba server files, users none, max use unlimited path. CTF development. Anonymous access is read write. Files, anonymous access none. That's in etc whole. IPC points to temp. That's like a special type of share. General points to etc general. Interesting. So my working theory now is that we have read-write access to this share. And we know on the server side what the path is. Look, even though it's a Linux server, I think because of the SMB protocol implemented by Samba, it needs to return a drive letter, right? So this, in reality, the physical path on 10.10.10.123 is probably / etc development, which is like a weird place, but it kind of is what it is, right? So we have the ability to upload a file to this path. And then we have the ability here to execute it. So the working theory is that we can, excuse me, let's try it. Let's call it test.php. And then we're going to say echo phone. Okay, easy. Now we want to connect with SMB client. -n 10 10 10 1 2 3 development. Nothing in there. Put test.php. So that path is now etc. Then I think it was actually capitalized, right? Yeah, capital D. So /etc/development test.php. Let's try it out. So we're assuming this dashboard.php is in var www html something else, right? So it should honor the directory up test.php. We don't want to include PHP. So nothing there. Let's just keep going up one directory at a time until, oh, no, we want to do /etc/development/test. Yeah, so we've got to add in enough up directories until we hit the root. Then the path will be Etsy development test.php. Oh, there it is. Oh my God, that worked. Yeah. Yeah, it worked. Okay, straight into revshells.com. And 10, 10, 14, 26, that's us, 9001. We want PHP pen test monkey. I've used this enough times now that I really like it. So let's just grab all this beautiful reverse shell PHP. Suspend that vim shell.php. Okay. Save that. Put shell.php. Okay. Let's run the listener, BLP 9001. And let's try it out. Test shell. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. So, okay, let's see if I can do this from memory. Is it Python 2 or 3? Oh, God damn it. Python 2. The shell is so broken that I can't even get the output. Let's assume Python 3 minus C. Import pty pty.spawn bin bash And then, yep. Hey. Now I can never remember the next part of this, so I'm going to check my cheat sheet. So then we suspend, do suspend STTY minus A, STTY, raw, echo, yep. And then we do foreground. Oh God. Reset, 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 come on. Nope. Oh my God, I've probably broken my shell. STDY raw minus echo, right? Okay. Let's open a new one. Let's just use this. Let's see L and LVNP 9001. Okay. Excuse my mood behavior. Okay. Import pty pty.spawn. In dash. Okay. Then yeah, I feel like I'm going to break my shell if I run that raw echo command again. Let's just set this on the reverse shell itself. No. Pasted my shell code. Okay. It's going to have to do. So, where are we? Who are we? We don't even know any data. Okay. We probably don't have a home directory. Oh, yes, there it is. Okay, so this is var www. This was the structure. So first thing I want to do is have a look at this mysql data.conf. For development process, this is the MySQL creds for a user friend. DB user friend, blah blah, DB name. Okay. Let's definitely grab a copy of that. Start. Oh, what is it? Oh, will do. So FPT SSH localhost SMTP 953. Okay. That's likely to be Samba services. Okay. Let's have a look at admin. Yeah, so this is the directory that we got the LFI from. Just check timestamp.php. Okay. I mean, we've already got local user remote shell. That said, we've got to find the flag. HTML. Is index. Default web page. Robots.txt. Seriously? Oh my god. WordPress. Yeah. It was actually just an empty directory. Cheeky buggers. Have a look at that uploads app. It's in the files directory. Oh, app files. No. Under development. App upload.php. Not finished yet. If set the post data uploaded successfully and then just writes out a epoch timestamp. So that uploads.friendzone.red, complete dummy. Like, it doesn't actually do anything. It doesn't even write the file. It just checks if the post body contains a field called image. So, but to try and throw you off a bit, it spits out that epoch timestamp, which is the same in the Administrator 1 portal. FriendZone. This is the JS thing. Yeah. Yeah. So this is a complete, what would you call it? Like red herring or decoy. We didn't actually try and mess too much with it. But where was it? It was https friendzone.red JS. Yeah, look, that string changes every time you reload it. Okay. All right, so they're definitely trying to throw you off from a pen testing point of view. All right. So friend zone portal. It's just that funny GIF. The Michael Jackson GIF. Friend zone portal admin. Cat login.php. Yeah, another red herring, just a dummy. Checks the username and password, writes out a bit of text, otherwise it says ZZZZZ. sleepy time. Okay, all right. No wonder we've spent so much time trying to figure this out. So now the next question is, what other users exist on here? So we got friend. Okay. Friend. Who's got actual interactive shell? Friend and SSH and root. Oh, SSH is just because it's got the SH in there. Okay, so MySQL data.conf, which is not a common username. Let's try and SU to this guy. SU friend. Oh, damn it. I really need to figure out how to fix this with the shell stuff. Python 3 -c import pty.spawn bin. I'm not set. Okay. At MySQL. Oh, that's what I was going to do. Sudo -l. Oh, we don't have the password. At MySQL data.conf su friend, and let's use this. Okay. We are now friend. So we're in the friend home directory. There we go. We've got the user flag. Let's submit that. Now, next step is to get root. So we're on as a regular user. We have the ability to yeah, okay. So we've progressed to a remote shell. We've pivoted into regular user. Now we need to find how to pivot into root. I'm going to be a little bit lazy, and I'm going to run linpeas. And hopefully linpeas will say, here is a super obvious way to privesk into root. Let's just grab this. And we're going to put it into our working directory. We need to output to linpeas.sh. Oh, never remember the curl syntax, so I'm just going to cheat and wget. There we go. Now, we could run a local web server, but we've already got an S&B session going. Put in keys.sh. And we copy etc development in keys.sh into dev shm. ls dev shm. Can dev shm. chmod plus x linpeas.sh. And off we go. Yeah, these P scripts are unbelievably thorough. The number of times it's found a escalation path that you could spend like 10 hours digging around to try and find it. Watching all this fly past. And now we comb through it all. Let's go to the top. Okay, so we're looking for a red/yellow or a red. Okay. Nothing. Pseudo version. Let's keep some notes as we go. Rib-esque of interest. Pseudo 1821P1. 1821P2. Okay. Sorry, keep bumping my mic. Oh, god damn it. Okay, there's probably a more efficient way to do this, but I've not figured it out yet. Okay, some suggested CVEs. We can always come back and investigate those. Okay, root is running a bunch of stuff. Oh, look at that. Cron. Yeah, is that the cron daemon or is that a cron job? As root. Okay, Apache. Okay, nothing super obvious there. doesn't look like MySQL is actually running. No PGP keys. One super user. Okay. Oh, we do have netcat. We do have Python 2 and 3. Yeah, this is the Apache config. Oh my god, look at this. So default, which is the IP address, friendzone.red, uploads, administrator 1, friendzone portal. Like, they really wanted to kind of send you on a wild goose chase with some of this stuff. PHP ini, yeah. Async. Build app. Commit root login. Okay, good to know. It's saying the BSFTP config has anonymous enabled. When I tested that, it wouldn't allow anonymous login. Interesting. Yeah, so here in the bind config, allow transfer, it's highlighted that as an issue. Okay, this is always a good one. Set UID. Nothing that really stands out. Like, it's not like there's some custom binary. I think things like mount and umount, password, sudo, yeah, so it's like, is sudo vulnerable? If so, set UID means you could prove through that. Nothing that obviously sticks out. Definitely not a red yellow item that is an obvious escalation vector. Let's just check this guy's home directory. So no SSH key, but we could create one if we want. We'll just stick for the reverse shell for now. What else? Nope. ETC seems to have a lot of non-standard directories. The root of the SMB share is in here. Development. Alright, I'm a little bit stuck at this point, so I think I'm going to jump into guided mode. Let's just jump through these answers. Friendzone.red. Anonymous read and write, that was development. Admin password was this guy. What's the name of the subdomain login form for FriendZone1? Was it administrator1? Nope. It might have been uploads. Uploads. Administrator1. HR. Need the dot. Need the FQDN. And .red. Yes, there we go. Seems to be including another page that provides a timestamp. That page can also be visited directly. That was /timestamp.php. What's the full path on FriendZone to the air? So interesting to see. Yeah, nmap enum shares will leak this information. It will add a C to the front since it's expecting Windows. Yep, so it's etc development. Running as that. The friends user password. This. What is the full path of the script that root is running every few minutes on a cron? Aha! Okay. So we did see in the linp's output that I think at the time it was captured a cron job running as root. So let's have a look. we read cron tab at cron tab. Okay, so that just does the subdirectories. OSLOTH star. So daily system. Yeah, it looks all like default popularity contests. What the hell? Cron.d. Cat popularity contest. At PHP. Okay, just purges the old sessions. Cat cron.daily popularity contest. What the hell is this? Bash? I have no idea what this is. Is it a system thing? On popularity. It sets up a cron job that periodically anonymously submit to the Ubuntu. Oh, okay. So it's a default Ubuntu thing to share usage data and that sort of thing. Okay. Cron star. Okay. The hints mention peace by, but I don't think we can install it. Actrix peace by. Peace by. Come on. All right. So we can either use this piece by binary, or there is a kind of a bash one-liner here. I don't know if this will work in my semi-broken shell. guessing. No, I can't kill that. Okay, these spiders. Hey, okay, so it's going to be Python 3 -C. Dash. And su friend. And we get his password again. Okay, so we're going to download pspy. pspy 64, I assume. Then we will put downloads pspy 64. No. Downloads. Yeah. Let's move it. Put pspy 64. Then we will copy etc development pspy 64 to dev shm. Dev shm chmod plus xp spy 64. Whoa. Ah, damn it. Sorry for all of those who are frustrated that I keep hitting Control C and killing the reverse shell. I will practice upgrading the shell. I could actually just generate an SSH key and do it that way. Yeah, let's do that. I did want to see. Okay. SU to friend. Okay. Region. Yes. No. No. Then we need to grab the cat.ssh id rsa dot pub. Grab that. And in here, we need to dim ssh.pub. Save that. Chmod 5 ssh.pub. Then we can do ssh minus I pub friend at 10 10 10 193. It's just gone midnight, so brain is not working 100%. No, 1 2 10 10 1 2 3 2 3. My goodness. Yes. Then we want that. And put it there. Okay. Now we've got a more stable shell. Dev shm pspy. Okay. Copy etc development spy. Let's just run it from there. Nope. Okay. etc development spy. Yeah. Plus x spy. Spy. Okay, so we're really only interested in processes that are run by root. Color debug does, fs events, help, interval, truncate. Okay. So the hints told us to look for a cron job. Cron jobs run on a schedule. So I assume we kind of need to sit here and wait until that cron job runs. And then we'll get from the process a bit more information about what is running as root. And then hopefully that'll lead us to a privesc by compromising cron job. And there it is. User bin Python. Okay, so let's just grab this. Okay. Right, let's have a look at this reporter.py. Oh, let's just have a look around the directory first. Server admin. Okay, it's the only file. Okay, so user bin Python. Let's just check what version Python is linked. Default 2715. Import OS to address from address print trying to send email command mail send blah blah blah. So the command is commented out. Command is just a string, contains the shell command, and os.system, which executes this command, is also commented out. So from what I can understand, is it does nothing. It literally does nothing. The script runs, it does nothing. Sam has been slacking. He needs to finish the script. So if this was uncommented and this was uncommented, we could work on some sort of injection here, right? Which would then mean that if we could get some sort of injection happening here, then that would be executed as root. Okay. What's the hint say? So path is opt server admin, server admin Reporter, was it? Reporter.py. What is the full path to the file related to reporter.py that is also world writable? This file is also imported by reporter.py. An enumeration tool like linps will identify this if you're stuck. Hey, I already tried that. That said, we've got a bit of a place to look now. So the only file, the two files that are related is Python itself and the OS package. So let's have another swing with linps. So copy etc development linps through here, chmod +x linps. Now I know with linps you can ask it to only focus on certain checks. So given that the hint is steering us towards, sorry, the question is steering us towards something that is permissions related. So let's do linps o interesting terms. Nope. Ping bash nc. Interesting files. Oh. Okay. Oh, found itself. We missed this earlier. So unexpected in /opt. Usually empty. Unexpected in root. Some old kernel images. Modified in the last 5 minutes. Fine. Files inside home friend. Blah, blah, blah. Files inside other home. Yep. Okay. Mail. Nope. Backup files. Yeah. Yeah, I don't really care about that. Web files, output limit. Okay. Kind of going through all of that already. All relevant hidden files not in /sys. Yeah, It's all fairly generic. Password or credential files in home. That's just any file name that matches password or credential. Passwords inside logs. Nothing there. Let's try software information. Python to 2.73, 3.6. I mean, from what I can interpret with the guided mode is that it's suggesting that somehow we can exploit that reporter.py to get a shell or do something. Okay, that's the key I created. Through most of this. Ready? Okay, so we've done files, interesting perms, proc timers, services, sockets, network information, user information. Oh boy, getting a bit desperate here. This file is also imported by reporter.py. Vim opt server admin reporter.py. Hey. Well, there's only one thing that's imported, and that's the OS package or library or whatever it's called in Python. Python. Okay, so Ubuntu Python 2 OS path. How to find Python installation directory on Ubuntu. Every file that apt-get has copied for installation, use dpackage. Yeah, okay, I'm familiar with that. So, okay, Python. Oh, okay. Where? So, user bin Python. Okay. Where's all the libraries and stuff exist? Keep that one for now. I think that's the actual path method. Python 2 path. What's it actually called? Library. Library path. How do I find the location of my Python site packages? Okay, let's try this. Get site packages. User local lib Python 2.7 disk packages. User lib Python 2.7 disk packages. Let's try the first one. Lib Python 2.7 dist. Okay, nothing there. User lib 2.7 dist. Why does that not work? Oh. Oh. Read write. Read write. Read write. So if we think this through, this script gets run as root by cron. It imports OS, and I believe can edit it. Yeah, can edit it. What the hell? Python os.py file permissions. This is not what I'm looking for. Okay. Python use Monty Python abuse writable library. Python library hijacking on Linux. What happens if a Python script runs with sudo privileges, but you have got write permissions on the imported module? I do! Exactly, you can escalate your privileges by editing the imported functions to call system commands or even spawn a shell that will have root rights. Methods to abuse. Okay. So we're not trying to substitute something in the path. We've got write permissions on an imported. Python script must meet one of the following conditions for a privileged successful privesc. Script must be compiled into a binary format that presents setuid. Well, I learnt that setuid doesn't work for interpreted scripts. If the Python binary was setuid, I think linps would have figured that out. Check permissions, yep. Read write execute. Okay. Okay. So this is a big library. So does it actually call any method in here? Doesn't call that because it's commented out. So it's not like we can system. Let's try and get more specific. So it's Python library hijacking. Python library HackTheBox OS. Oh, okay. So you basically just overwrite the entire library with a reverse shell. Oh, juicy. Because it's not about injecting code somewhere in here and then relying on the particular method within this library being called. It's about overriding the entire library that executes as soon as it's imported. Aha. Okay, so what we can do is os.py to os.py.orig, and we can vim os.py, os.py, and then we want to, I mean, we can try this. This reverse shell. I might have a look at revshells.com. OS, Linux, Python. So that's run it from the command line. Command line, command line, command line, command line. Whereas this example, okay, I'm not a strong Python guy, but what is this zip file class? Okay, so this example, you're hijacking it by putting the library in the same directory as the parent script. And then you have this dummy class. But is this class needed to execute this code? I don't think so. The other problem is it's going to import itself, which would mean yeah, we don't want to import OS because we're in the OS class. But if we call this dup2 function, it should already exist in dup2. Nope. Python duplicate a file descriptor. So if we import PDY and socket, Well, I guess we can try it out. Not sure how this method would work. But in this case, we are not using this class instantiation, right? We're going to just run the reverse shell code. So we'll move os.py bridge back to os.py in os.py. Force of habit. And we're just going to go to the bottom. We're going to, oops. Hey, oh my God, what have I done? This is why I prefer Vi over Vim. Screw it. No. Okay. So it's going to be our address, which is 10, 10, 14, 26. 444 is good. Rev shell. We're going to ignore this class example here, and we're just going to try and open the socket and connect back. My God, it'll be a miracle if this works. No. Yep, it's there. So let's kill this one. And 4444. And in fact, we can just try it out. Oh, look at that. So I don't even have to import OS. And I get a connection straight away. Ah, connection refused. Oh yeah, yeah, okay, that's good. So connected as friend at FriendZoned. And now I'm in the Python interpreter. Yeah, okay. All right, now all we need to do is wait for the cron job to run, and hopefully that'll work. Let's do dev shm pspy. Waiting. If this works, I will be a very happy man. I mean, it works with a regular user, so there's no reason why it shouldn't work with the job running as root. But holy hell, what a box this has been. I mean, so many dry holes, red herrings, wild goose chases, so much crap to sort through from an enumeration perspective. We're now at 3 hours and 21 minutes. It's 12:37 in the morning for me. And I'm hoping I can finish this in... Hey, there it goes. Wow. Do the obvious thing that sets off every SIEM system in the world, and the first thing that we do is run ID. There it is. Root.txt. Wow. That is a killer. Full path was opt server admin. Oh. Let's put that in there. The path. So it was user lib python 2.7. Yeah, first apply. Yeah, user lib python 2.7. User lib python 2.7 os.py. Boom. Wow. Owned. Wonderful. Yeah, that was a lot of fun. Very, very interesting. Lots of memes, which was good. I'm going to spend a bit of time writing up some further info about the entire path to, foothold, pivot, exploitation, and full compromise. But yeah, guys, thanks very much if you watched me fumble my way through this. Like I said at the in the opening, I'm working towards my OSCP, and the goal here is to, keep myself a little bit accountable by sharing some of these sessions. I do plan to do a series of other videos on particular tools and techniques, because it's all good practice for me. But learning in the open means that hopefully, even if one person, sees this video and learns something from it, I'll be very happy and feel very rewarded by that. So that's it. This is Jono from OpenLearnSec signing off after 3 hours and 24 minutes of trying to crack this challenge. It is only easy, so I'm a little bit embarrassed by that. But hey, that's what I'm here for, is to continue to practice and hone the skills and everything else. And that's the love and the joy of this particular topic. I'm really enjoying cybersecurity. I've been in technology for a long time, working in a few different roles. But being on the offensive security side is something that I've not had a lot of exposure to. So that's the thinking behind OpenLearnSec. So with that, I'll say good night and good morning, wherever you are. And I hope to see you in the next one. Thanks very much.